The Chicago Outfit, also known simply as the Outfit, is one of the most notorious and powerful crime syndicates in American history, with its roots stretching back to the early 20th century in Chicago, Illinois. Unlike the Italian-American Mafia families of the East Coast, the Outfit's influence extended far beyond Chicago, impacting organized crime on a national scale. Its history is marked by notorious leaders, brutal enforcement tactics, and a diversified criminal portfolio including gambling, loan sharking, extortion, political corruption, and murder. The Chicago Outfit's origins can be traced back to the 1910s, with Jim Colosimo, Big Jim, at the helm. Colosimo centralized various rackets, including prostitution and gambling, but his reluctance to embrace bootlegging during the Prohibition led to his downfall. In 1920, he was murdered, likely on the orders of his successor, Johnny Torrio, who saw the lucrative potential of bootlegging. Torrio, in turn, was succeeded by Al Capone, one of the most infamous gangsters in American history. The Chicago Outfit underpins a significant chapter in American organized crime, illustrating a transformation from localized racketeering to a sprawling criminal empire. And their story began on the bustling streets in the early 20th century in Chicago, a city ripe for the ambitions of those willing to operate in the shadows of the law. Jim Colosimo, known as Big Jim, laid the groundwork for what would become the Chicago Outfit. Arriving in Chicago in the 19th century, Colosimo was initially involved in petty crimes but quickly ascended to criminal hierarchy. By the 1910s, he had established a significant presence in the city's underworld, controlling a vast network of brothels, gambling dens, and other illicit enterprises. Colosimo's success was partly due to his ability to centralize the various rackets under his control, a move that reduced infighting and maximized profits. He was a pioneer in organized crime, setting a template for future mob operations not just in Chicago but across the country. However, Colosimo's reluctance to engage in bootlegging, the illegal production and distribution of alcohol, marked the beginning of his downfall. Despite the lucrative opportunities presented by the onset of Prohibition in 1920, Colosimo was content with his existing operations, a decision that would cost him dearly. Enter Johnny Torrio, the transition to bootlegging. Johnny Torrio, Colosimo's nephew by marriage, and a rising figure in the criminal world, saw the immense potential of bootlegging. Torrio, who had been instrumental in expanding Colosimo's empire, was frustrated by his uncle's refusal to enter the alcohol business. The disagreement over bootlegging signaled a growing rift between the old guard and the new, more ambitious generation of mobsters. In May 1920, Colosimo was murdered at his cafe, a hit widely believed to have been orchestrated by Torrio to remove the obstacle of the outfit's expansion into bootlegging. With Colosimo gone, Torrio took control of the organization, steering it into the lucrative waters of illegal alcohol. This move not only expanded the outfit's revenue streams, but it also increased the power and influence in Chicago and beyond. Al Capone, the rise of an icon. Torrio's tenure at the helm saw the Chicago Outfit grow exponentially, but it was his protege, Al Capone, who would become the face of the organization and one of the most infamous figures in American history. Capone's charisma, ruthlessness, and business acumen propelled the outfit to new heights. Under his leadership, the organization's involvement in bootlegging, gambling, and other illicit activities flourished, making Capone one of the most powerful and feared men in America. However, Capone's reign was marked by violence and bloodshed, most notably the St. Valentine's Day Massacre in 1929, which aimed to eliminate rival gangster Bugs Moran and consolidate the outfit's control over Chicago's criminal underworld. Capone's tactics and flamboyant lifestyle made him a target for law enforcement, and in 1931 he was convicted of tax evasion, a conviction that would end his control of the Chicago Outfit, but not diminish his legendary status. The early history of the Chicago Outfit, from Colosimo's foundational leadership to Torrio's strategic expansion and Capone's notorious reign, showcases the complex interplay of ambition, violence, and entrepreneurship that characterized the rise of organized crime in America. This period laid the groundwork for the outfit's enduring influence, marking the beginning of a saga that would continue to evolve through the 20th century and beyond. The post-Al Capone era was a time of adaptation, as it adapted to the end of Prohibition and expanded its operations into new territories, both geographically and in terms of criminal enterprise. The leadership that followed Capone, Frank Nitti, Paul Ricca, Tony Accardo, and Sam Giancana, were instrumental in this evolution, each bringing their own unique vision and approach to the helm of the outfit. Frank Nitti, the Hollywood extortionist. Nitti, known as the Enforcer, was Capone's right-hand man and took over as the front boss after Capone's imprisonment. Nitti's reign saw the outfit's expansion into Hollywood, where they extorted movie studios over the threat of union strikes, a racket that proved to be incredibly lucrative. However, Nitti's leadership came to a tragic end in 1943. Faced with an indictment and suffering from severe claustrophobia, he took his own life. Paul Ricca and Tony Accardo, the brain and the enforcer. Paul Ricca, also known as the Waiter, with Tony Accardo, also known as Joe Batters, serving as the day-to-day boss. Ricca and Accardo formed a formidable duo, steering the outfit into new ventures, including the control of Las Vegas casinos. Their tenure is noted for the strategic shift away from the spotlight, preferring to operate in the shadows, which allowed the outfit to thrive away from law enforcement scrutiny. Accardo, in particular, is credited with maintaining the outfit's power and influence through the mid-20th century, avoiding the fate of many of his contemporaries who ended up imprisoned or assassinated. Sam Giancana, the charismatic leader. Sam Giancana took over leadership in the 1950s and is perhaps most famous for his alleged connections to the Kennedy family and his involvement in CIA plots to assassinate Fidel Castro. Giancana's charisma and ruthlessness made him a significant figure in the outfit's history, but his high-profile lifestyle and political machinations attracted unwanted attention from the authorities. His reign ended in 1966 when he was deposed while serving a prison sentence, and was later murdered in 1975, which is a crime that remains unsolved. These leaders, each in their own way, contributed to the Chicago outfit's resilience and adaptability. Under their guidance, the outfit expanded its operations beyond bootlegging into various forms of racketeering, including gambling, loan sharking, and labor racketeering. Their foray into legitimate businesses and control of Las Vegas casinos were noteworthy, enabling the laundering of vast amounts of money and securing the outfit's financial base for decades. The leadership transition from Capone to his successors also marked a shift in strategy, where Capone was flamboyant in public. His successors preferred to operate behind the scenes, a change that arguably allowed the outfit to survive and adapt to the changing landscape of organized crime. This era cemented the Chicago outfit's reputation as a sophisticated and deeply entrenched criminal organization, capable of evolving with the times and maintaining its influence over Chicago's underworld and beyond. While the FBI and law enforcement agencies cracked down on organized crime from the 1970s onwards, leading to the conviction and imprisonment of several high-ranking members, the outfit has managed to survive, albeit in a diminished capacity. The use of RICO laws, which is the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, significantly impacted its operations, but the outfit has adapted, moving into more subtle forms of criminal enterprise. The decline in modern era of the Chicago outfit illustrates the shifting landscape of organized crime in the face of legal and societal challenges. The Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, RICO, enacted in 1970, became a pivotal weapon in the government's arsenal against organized crime. RICO allowed prosecutors to charge individuals who ordered or assisted in criminal acts as part of a criminal enterprise, making it easier to target the leadership of organizations like the Chicago outfit. High-profile convictions under RICO laws marked a turning point in the fight against the Mafia, leading to lengthy prison sentences for several of the outfit's top figures. Despite these challenges, the Chicago outfit demonstrated a remarkable ability to adapt and survive. As the traditional rackets became riskier due to law enforcement scrutiny, the outfit shifted its focus towards more subtle forms of criminal enterprise. This included a deeper involvement in white-collar crimes such as financial fraud, cybercrime, and sophisticated extortion crimes. These activities were harder for law enforcement to detect and prosecute, allowing the outfit to maintain a presence in the criminal underworld. In the modern era, the Chicago outfit has continued to operate, albeit with a lower profile than in its heyday. Reports suggest that the outfit has maintained involvement in illegal gambling, loan sharking, and narcotics trade, but with a greater emphasis on discretion and the use of legitimate businesses as fronts for criminal activities. The outfit has also reportedly continued to exert influence over certain labor unions and political circles, although not to the extent seen in the past. The legacy of the Chicago outfit extends far beyond its criminal achievements. The organization's history offers insights into the evolution of organized crime in America, reflecting broader social, economic, and political changes. The outfit's ability to adapt to these changes, shifting in operations and strategies in response to law enforcement pressures, underscores the persistent challenge that organized crime poses to society. The Chicago Outfit story has permeated popular culture, inspiring countless books, movies, and television shows. These portrayals have contributed to the myth and lore of the Mafia in American consciousness, sometimes glamorizing the criminal lifestyle, while also highlighting the brutal realities of the life within the mob. But today, the Chicago Outfit is a shadow of its former self, its operations curtailed by decades of law enforcement efforts. However, its continued existence speaks to the enduring nature of organized crime. As long as there are lucrative opportunities for illicit gain, organizations like the Outfit will seek to exploit them, adapting new conditions and finding ways to survive. The history of the Chicago Outfit is not just a chronicle of crime. It's a mirror reflecting the complexities of American society and the ongoing struggle between law and lawlessness.